tonight. So to properly introduce Stephen, like he introduced himself earlier, one of the biggest serial entrepreneurs I know, one of the biggest super connectors I know, one of the most organized in terms of his technology and how he's managing his network. And he's got this cool technique that I think will help all of us fast track where we're trying to get more referrals from.
All right, guys, sorry about that. Larry, you want me to just jump in?
Yeah, rapid fire, go.
Good. All right, guys, I'm going to fly through this, and what I should have done is preface before I got started that even though I start technology companies, they do not let me touch technology. I mean, everything I touch breaks, it never works. I actually spoke one year at Peter Hewitt Institute in Nebraska, and I told them that the first year they didn't believe me, and the laptop didn't work. Second year I came in, the projector didn't work. Third year I came in, they had a whiteboard and markers, and the marker didn't work. All right, so none of this surprises me, but I'm going to fly through things. I'll kind of have to jump up here because my Vanna White doesn't work, but I do something called the tornado technique and why isolation is a good thing. And I'm a big proponent of believing... Where? Do you want to change the slide for me?
Got you.
It'll... There we go, I got it. Here we go, guys. So I'm a big proponent, there's three types of speakers. There's an inspirational speaker, right? How do I eat better? How do I eat healthy? How do I inspire you? There's aspirational, the types of dishes you can cook. And there's educational on how do you cook. And I'm much more educational. I'm not very inspirational or aspirational, but I'm all about teaching you something very specific. And we're going to go through one particular technique. But I start with isolation. If I say isolation, what does that mean to you? You guys give me a couple words. Lonely. Some person said focus, but a lot of people go straight to lonely.
Hey, Stephen.
Yeah.
Just be, I know you guys change the slide. Just be careful when you're showing stuff because you'll be in front of us.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that
No, I'll get it. I'll get it, because I'll just move out of the way. So the thing with isolation is a lot of people go straight to the negative. And a lot of the things I teach are about the psychology, the words and the pictures. It's more about the pictures of what we tell ourselves in our head. If I say isolation and we immediately go to negative, that's a bad parameter. But we can instantly change it with a simple picture. If I said, isolation is a good thing, every time you think about isolation, just that picture changes the framework of how we think about things. Right? So just remember, the way we talk to ourselves is a huge indicator, and isolation to me is about being specific, targeted, and focused. Has nothing to do with being alone. And what I want to do is talk about the value of a first impression. Would you guys agree first impressions are important?
Yes.
I'm going to show you a simple example. So here's a math quiz. 1 times 9 equals 7. 2 times 9 is 18. 3 times 9 is 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. Does anybody see what's wrong with that?
Yes.
But all you remember is the failure. The whole time I'm going through, you're like, oh, you got the first one. You're not even paying attention. If I invert that, 1 times 9 is 9, 18, 20. If I don't get it wrong till the very last one, you're going to go, wow, he was almost perfect. Almost perfect. Same number wrong. It's just where it falls in sequence. That first impression is really important for what you leave with people. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. A lot of us in networking, the first question we're always asked is, oh, Joaquin, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? That's our impression. I'm going to teach you how to do something a little bit differently called a tornado technique. How many people have seen a tornado in person? Alright, I don't usually ask trick questions. This is my only trick question, and it has a two-part trick. What is the most powerful part of a tornado? The eye. I warned you it was a trick question, I apologize. So number one, tornadoes don't have eyes, hurricanes do. And the eye is actually the calmest part of a hurricane. So it's a trick question and you answered wrong twice. But, that being said, if you've ever seen a tornado, it's not where the car and the refrigerator and the cow are flying around in the air. The tornado, when it touches the ground, it's a little tiny tip that comes out of the sky and touches the ground. That is the most powerful part. So the goal is, how do you become very powerful? How do you take all of this noise and sequence it down to something that makes sense. And I'm going to give you an example. So the company we have right now is called Magma. And if I did this and I tried to describe Magma, just like many of you describe your business, we're a B2B publishing tool, we across multiple disciplines, we're an HTML5, I can give you all of this jargon that just kind of drones off into nowhere. And that's what most of you do when you talk about your business. We talk and talk and talk, and here's what I mean. What happens is, in our head, we're a rock star. Right? Here's what I mean. I'm going to pick a song. I don't have enough time. Normally I pull Joaquin up and do this whole dog and pony show. I want you guys to guess what song I'm playing. Here we go. You ready? Any guesses? I usually get happy birthday. Guys, in my head, no, it's Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the... In my head, it's perfect. I know exactly what song. Every time you guys are talking to somebody, you know exactly what you're saying in your head, and all people hear is knocking. They have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm going to go through something called a tornado technique, and it can be used for customers, funding, board members, whatever you want. This is going to show you how to become much more powerful. The most powerful part of the tornado is that little tiny tip. And I'm going to share with you guys exactly what it is in a series of steps. And there are about 9 psychological components in this one slide. Isolation of faces, emotional energy, there's all kinds of things. But the first step of the tornado technique is, what's the emotional value of what you do? People make decisions emotionally and they defend them logically. There's something emotional and cool about what you do. You need to figure out what that is. Underneath the emotional value is what are the industries you're into. Either what are the industries you're best in. And I talk to people all the time like, oh, well, I can do anything. Oh, well, I'm in consulting. I can consult any. No. Who are your top 3 industries? It's not that you can't be everything to everyone. But what are the areas you're best? Where are you strongest? Jeff was great. Jeff corrected Larry about being a Fortune 100 companies, 50 million. He's very specific. The more targeted and specific you are, the more people can help you. And so what we're doing is sequencing down. What's the industry? Underneath the industry, what are the companies by name? The minute you start naming companies, that's the way our mind processes information. If somebody's working with fashion and you mention fashion companies, you'll start creating parallel introductions. After that becomes who within the company by title that you work with. I have people come to me all the time. Oh, Stephen, we want to work with Disney. Like who? Disney. Who? Disney has 87,000 employees. Who do you sell to in Disney? It's not my job to figure out who you sell to. Right? They're coming to me, oh, I want an agent at CAA. Which one? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to isolate down, and the last thing is the most important part. These are the 5 people you want to meet right now in your industry. If you're trying to do sales, here are the 5 companies, here's the title, here are the 5 people I want to meet by name. And what happens is the more specific you are, and don't be shy, the people are going to remember 2 things. They're going to remember emotional value, kind of what you do is cool and what you need. And I'm going to prove that to you very quickly. We've done this with so many of our companies. So we have a company called Magma. All right, here's what Magma is. And all I want you guys to do is just kind of listen and figure it out. I can give you a bunch of ABCs. We've got a really cool kind of publishing tool. It's called Magic Moments. So if you're a musician, if you're a kid, if you're a parent, how do you capture that magic moment when you're out? And how do you share that photo with all your friends? Anybody that wants this, I'll send it to you because I know I'm walking in front of it. But the tool's just called Magma. How do you capture that magic moment that you want to share with your friends? But for us, very specifically, we've targeted music, television, entertainment, sports, book authors, anybody that has something to sell in a big audience. So I'm starting to sequence down. Within here are the companies that we're working with or want to work with. Brillstein Gray, AEG, Live Nation, Paradigm Management, Warner Brothers. Right? Now you guys are starting, if you're in this industry, you're going to start putting parallels together. And then comes my big ask. Within there, we work with the Chief Marketing Director or the Social Media Director, if you know any Chief Marketing Officers. And directly, we'd love to meet and work with these kinds of people. Martin Sorrell, Jeff Skull, Chris Saka, Irvin Azov, Ryan Seeger. We go for the top people. I mean, this is how we've met people. What does Magmo do? All I need you to do is, Magmo's got a cool tool called Magic Moments, and I'm trying to meet these people. Every one of you, when you go through this sequence, there's industries that you're in, there's companies you want to work with, there's titles of the people you sell to, and there should be 3 to 5 people by name that you want to meet right now. If you need a board member, go find the industry, the company, the title, and the person you want on your board. If you want investors, I get this all the time, oh, we're raising money. Who? There's certain industries, there's certain VCs within the venture firm, there's certain partners. It's your responsibility to do this research for somebody like me to be able to help you. Right? And so that's the tornado technique. Very simple. Emotional value. What's cool about what you do? You want people to remember, this is what I do that's cool. And then you want to sequence down to industries. That starts collapsing the mind. And then you want to name companies. That's called isolation of faces. And then you want to create the name. And what you'll get, if I said, hey, we've got a cool photo sharing tool, and I'll get people going, oh, well, you want, my daughter will use it. Oh, what about a soccer coach? No, if I'm asking for Warner Brothers, somebody says, oh, I don't know WB, but I know Universal. Right? If you're asking for somebody at Versace, they're not going to send you somebody at Joe's Tailor on the corner. So you want what's called a horizontal introduction. You've got to set the parameter to ask for what you want. Either by company, or by title, or by exact name. Does that make sense? So I don't know, my time on this, I'm usually pretty quick. So I should have been close. I think that's why it just blew up on me. But anyway, here, let's see if this will work. So the tornado, it's already done. I broke it. There we go. No, can't do it.
Tornado blew it up.
Tornado blew it up. So anyway, guys, like I said, what I normally teach isolation, I've got 10 steps. That's step 3. All of them kind of build on each other. And it's funny when you hear people talk. And I'm not going to go through all of them by depth, but number 1 is design your destiny. What exactly do you want? Number 2, whiffle. What's in it for you? What's in it for me? How do you think about what's in it for the other person? 3 is this tornado technique. I know definitively what I want, whether it's board member, whether it's venture, whether it's company, whether it's, athlete, whether it's entertainer. The 3rd step is called deflect, defer, and disclose. And you guys should learn this one if you can. And it's tough. It's never answer what you do when somebody asks you what you do. Never answer first. If you can. Never. And what I mean by that is if I'm talking to Sam and Sam's like, oh, Stephen, what do you do? I've got 15 things I do. So you got to treat it like ping pong. Right? You can't say, well, Sam, what do you do? Because that's conflict. You're an ass. I just asked you what you do. You've got to somewhat answer. Oh, Sam, we just run a cool, we've got a technology incubator. But anyway, tell me more about you. Deflect, defer, and disclose means you're going to defer questions back to that person. You're now in control of the question set. And if you reverse the tornado technique where it's like, Sam, I love what you do. Like, what's the coolest thing about what you do? What do your clients love about you? Now I've got our emotional value. Like, what are the industries you're in? Who are you going after? What are your top 3 companies you want? I can ask Sam a series of questions to figure out exactly who she needs to meet when she's not giving me that information. She's up at the top of the tornado telling me all the great stuff she does. I don't care. What she does is not relevant. What she needs is important. If you sequence down, you can find out exactly what she needs and who she needs to meet. And the goal is I can try and find 2 or 3 names from her, and then hopefully say, Sam, I've got a couple people I'd love for you to meet. Now let me tell you what I do. And I just built what's called a referral burden on Sam. So one of my steps is if I give you something, hopefully you're going to give me something back. I'm going to give her 2 or 3 names. She's going to want to give me her best people. Right? So there's a lot of different sequences like that, but the things I like to do are very simplistic, very sequential, very easy to teach. Larry, I'm done. You ready? Here. All right. Thanks, guys.
So first of all, how can we help you? One of the things that we've done saying over the years as a tradition is after every speaker presents, we always want to ask how we can help them. And amazing things have occurred over the years. So how can we best help you, whether it's Magmar or
So there's about 3 things we're working on, but Magmo's the most forefront. So we're targeting celebrities, entertainers, musicians, brands, book authors, anybody that has an audience of more than 1 million people. We built this tool that lets them create a little 4-page story, so it's their content, attach a clickable offer, and then they can instantly publish or share that with their audience. So we can take a celebrity that's got 10 or 15 million people and show them how to build a story about their charity, attach an offer to donate to the charity, and in one button, it goes to millions of people that might potentially donate. So it's a really cool monetization tool, and it's something we built as a way to give back to others. But any of you that are dealing with brands, entertainers, celebrities, management companies, that's really where we're targeting.
Stephen, that what you need is a big part of my business, and everybody you name is people I do a little time.
Perfect, great, thank you.